get these guys going. They like a little morning song, huh? Right, buddy? Okay. So anyway, we woke up today. So we had something to be grateful for right away, right? The sun came up like it always does. And today is Independence Day. And we got a lot of people celebrating today. We're going to be spending a lot of money and probably drinking a lot of beer and eating a lot of hamburgers and hot dogs and a lot of good stuff, right? So, America today, what is it? What is America today? We have one of the most highly educated populaces in the world. More people hold degrees my understanding is more people hold degrees in America than in any other country. We are richly educated, and yet studies suggest that nearly half of us are depressed, and we're either self-medicating or we're going to the doctor and let him practice on us and practice medicine from the pharmacy to see if they can help the depression. But a lot of us, people are either drinking themselves to sleep every night, or crying themselves to sleep every night, or like too many people, they're dying because they take their own lives. It's the numbers I found on the internet search was 2,200 a day in America kill themselves. They're successful in killing themselves. Nearly 16 times that attempted. So while we're celebrating our independence today, we also need to be recognizing that although America is a beautiful country to live in, there are many things that still aren't being done right. And our action in directions that don't matter, have been vast. We've got sports, we've got, there's stuff that you're going to do to take up your time, but because not everybody can save the world, every day. That'd be kind of a tiring job, I think. But we can all do our little parts. And if we all do little parts, but a lot of us do it, big shit happens. We've got from my understanding, the highest educated populace, or, maybe not per capita. I meet some really, I meet some real mental midgets, but that's only because they haven't desired to learn yet. So, the school system kind of squashed that out of them. But we've got a lot of people getting a degree of information. And this degree of information has led people to believe that their cups are already full. Their knowledge cups. I don't have a college degree, but I have a lot of life experience. And when I was successfully running my business, I felt that my cup was pretty full. People were trying to tell me things, and I already knew. I got one of these. Of course, I've got it mastered. And then I woke up, and sometimes that takes time. We all suffer from our environment until we know better, right? So then I realized that no, my cup is damp. That's so I started really opening myself to learning from other people, and I started learning a lot more, and I started recognizing patterns, and I started recognizing that we've stepped a long ways away from being natural. And when we're natural, we're happy. Because when a little kid comes into this world,
you've got to pretty much do something to them for them not to be happy. I mean, or maybe they don't get their way because you've been spoiling them for so long. Or grandma and grandpa say, "Oh, they're my spoiled." Who the fuck wants spoiled meat or spoiled cheese or spoiled food? But you want to spoil your child so that way they become like this burden to society. It's not cute. I mean, it's maybe it's cute when your little 2-year-old says "fuck you." Some people would um, well, you probably find it on YouTube. Um, but when they're 16, and now they're saying "fuck you," and they really mean it, and they mean it because they're telling you you don't own me. Thank you for giving me this body, but you don't own me. And they've got hormones running through their systems, and they've got youth and ignorance and sometimes arrogance, and we've all been there, right? It's because we're educated all in the same way that many of us are thinking the same ways. And then we have television. Hush, come here, come here. You're a big pretty guy. You should be in the camera, huh? We got television programming. Maybe that's shaping.
You turd. Maybe that is shaping the way we are seeing things, right? So if we have television programming, and a lot of people are experiencing things the same way. They've got the standard American dream. The 4 bedrooms, 3.5 bath. It used to. The standard American dream used to be 1,000 square foot house with the bathroom, indoor plumbing, and a full kitchen. And can you believe they have a dishwasher?
The dishwasher isn't just the person standing in front of the sink. Did you know that? I saw it on TV, and the Joneses have one, right? The Joneses have one, right? So we gotta have one, but because you can't afford it, we've got this new thing we call debt. And if we can get you in debt, then we can pretty much guarantee that you're going to keep a job. So instead of living your life like every other animal on the planet does, we're going to work to make a living. Because somebody else tells us that we need something, and we say, okay, well, that's not where happiness comes from. Happiness comes from owning yourself, living at peace. I mean, I love my life. I kid. Yeah, see, I got all these friends that just come and visit me all the time. We hang out. We have time to just experience nature. And since I've been experiencing nature, I've gotten a lot healthier. My mind, my body. I feel that my connection to God, because nature just works naturally. This plant here wasn't like, complaining the other day that, what the, are you fucking serious? My seed got dropped right in the path. I know they're gonna pluck me out one of these days. And, oh my god. No, it's like, it's like, hey man, I'm happy being here until you rip me out of the ground and turn me back into nitrogen, turn me back into the dirt, whatever. The puppies, they don't worry about tomorrow. Give them a little bit of food, a little bit of water, and a place to play, and they're really happy. But how much does it take? I mean, a lot of folks need a comedian.
They need they need the jester to come out and entertain them and punch themselves in the balls, and well, it's kind of like Jackass, right? MTV or something did that, where these guys would just beat the shit out of themselves and do horrible things, and people are like, yeah man, that's fucking awesome, it makes me laugh, and it's the only thing that makes them laugh. back, I'm laughing every day. These little dogs, little puppies, life is amazing when we let it be. So, anyway, back to the educated populace. We're celebrating Independence Day today, and we don't. I think that we've been fooled. I think that we've been fooled because we live in a culture that has painted things according to his story. Not what we're experiencing in the now, but based on a story, usually from a victor. Because when somebody invades somebody else's land, you take away their information, you take away their knowledge. They're easy to control when they lack certain aspects of their past. Well, back in 1776, we declared our independence, right? The bombs were bursting in air, and we were pissed off because there was going to be a 2% tax on the goods coming from Europe. 2%. 2%. I think. And I don't know. What can you really trust anymore anyway? You got fake news. You get history books that are wrong. Anyway, it was a small amount of tax. These people were like, screw you. I'm not paying it. And we're willing to shoot you for it. But now, taxes have gone up. Freedoms have gone down. I mean, when I was a kid, man, you used to go, well, I remember just standing in the back floor leaning over the front seat as we're driving down the highway. There were no seat belts. You could ride around the back of the truck. You could go visit nature without having to pay a permission sticker. You could there's a lot you could do that you can't do now. Laws are made up because people are dumb. People are sometimes willing to do dumb shit. Okay, and so we try to protect the many by the actions of the few. That doesn't make sense. We need to start doing only what makes sense. Because if we start doing only what makes sense, we won't be blindly supporting things that we're not thinking that would be a good thing in our world. I mean, we're giving money to the systems that aren't giving us the technology we paid for. We've spent billions and billions of dollars. Come on, we got to have a cell phone that doesn't break when you drop it on the floor, or get ruined if it drops in the toilet. We should have upgradable things that aren't wasting all these resources of our planet. We should be reshaping our landscapes so they absorb water instead of shed it. We should have vehicles that have NASCAR technology of occupant protection and NASA's technology of propulsion and hydrogen fuels. And we've got some really intelligent people, and they're all working for money, for numbers in a bank, and we're killing the planet that we're living on. And it's it's fucked up to bring a child into this world if you're not working to fix it. I have a 19-year-old daughter, and I wasn't working in the best direction before. I was doing what everybody else is doing. What everybody else is doing. Drinking beer, eating burgers. But for being the most educated people on the planet, we should really recognize that we are the only animals that are paying to exist. Right? You don't pay to exist, huh? No. You don't pay to exist.
and we're the only animals on the planet that are led in a direction by fear. If I said, hey, you better, I don't know, what do? You better play really hard today, or I'm not going to give you any food tomorrow. Well, he's probably just going to play really hard anyway. Okay, yeah, no, they're not really run by fear though. They don't know. I mean, you can't tell a chicken, if you don't lay me 4 eggs tomorrow,
I'm gonna wring your neck. You'll still just get 1 egg. You know, that an animal isn't persuaded by fear, but people are. So debt has many in perpetual debt, and it might as well be slavery. Slavery just doesn't need any chains anymore. The debt has replaced the chains. So anyway, let's actually get some independence. Let's start doing things for ourselves. Let's start making our own things. DIY. The people on TV, they make it look like they're not giving an accurate representation too often enough. I mean, you could watch YouTube University for fucking 4 hours and on one subject, and you're gonna have a really good idea of how to do it, and how to do it efficiently and effectively. And I mean, if you if you need to hire
hire a professional directly. Hire the guy that knows how to do the work. Hire the guy that knows that he's going to be doing the work. Because if you hire somebody else to hire somebody else to hire somebody else to hire somebody else, you get all these middlemen. It's like the dealer's pinch. You go buy a sack of weed from the dealer or from the grower, and you're going to get your sack of weed. But then you got a dealer that it takes it from there, and then it goes like this. And then you got another dealer that bought from this guy to pay for this guy, and then it goes down like this. So everybody starts taking a pinch of what you got, and yeah, you end up with not much. And that's what's happening to people. We're buying food at the stores instead of growing it at the source. We're growing grass instead of food. We're accepting that 100-year-old technology is normal for our vehicles. I mean, we should all be burning hydrogen or biogas in our combustion motors. Electric vehicle technology is really getting to where it can benefit us. But instead of having solar plants and then you buy the power to power your car, why aren't they just making the whole outside of the car photosensitive, so where it's charging? And some of the cars are using like regenerative braking, so anytime you're going downhill, it's making power. But I mean, we shouldn't be parking our cars in garages. We should just be parking them out in the sun. Let the sun charge them up. I mean, you don't need to have 300 or 400 mile range available for every car that's coming out on the market. I mean, when I drive a car, I drive it 10 miles at a time. Maybe 10 miles into town and 10 miles back. So I mean, if I had a 100-mile range, and then it sits for the next 4 days, I'm fine with that. And I would purchase something like that pretty quickly. But when something's $40,000 for technology that really is ancient after you've bought it, I'll wait till either I build it myself or we start to change this place for the better. I know we can do it. I've got a couple Facebook pages, You at Hawks Haven, and We Tribe, welcoming everyone. And those pages are about teaching people how to become, the You at Hawks Haven is teaching people how to become a natural person again, and fix their bodies and their minds. And the We Tribe is choices and actions that we can be doing, making differently, that change this whole experience. So, thanks. Check us out. Like, share, subscribe, and we'll see you around.